Well, hello here, everybody. It's your friend here, Manoli, with another episode of Manoli's Musings for you. How you doing today? I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing fine. It's a Sunday here. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. It's Super Bowl Sunday, actually. So I'm squeezing in an episode before I go off and go to all these Super Bowl parties and events. I'm always doing something, man. It never stops over here, which is good. If I don't keep going and doing stuff, then the voices start, and that's bad for everybody. We don't want the voices to start talking. But no, seriously, it's been a busy weekend. It's been a busy week. A week ago it was snowing here in old Charleston, South Carolina, and I can't even believe that was a week ago. It feels like it was at least a year and a half ago, but no, it was last week. Um, for those of you who have me on social media, you know that I post my weather reports, and people seem to get a kick out of those. So I've been doing those for about it's been a while now. I think I started my freshman year of college. So what is that? It's almost 8 years ago, 8 9 years ago. That was it's been a minute, but yeah, I like to entertain. I aim to please people. That's really what I do. I aim to please. And somebody, and this is years and years after I've been doing this. Somebody's like, "Your weather reports, you think that's funny?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. Other people think it's funny, and if you don't like it, you just don't have to watch it. If you don't like this show, you don't have to listen to it." I really, people nowadays, what the world needs more of is unsolicited opinions from the rabble, from just everybody in their mind. Thinks that they're the expert on everything in life. They think that they know everything. They think that because what used to happen, before social media, this wonderful thing, this wonderful hellscape that we've created. Oh boy, he's already getting into it. But let's get into it. Why not? Before social media, you actually had to work for a platform, and you actually had to show, I don't know, talent or intellect or personality to get people to listen to you. I mean, listen, there's always been idiots that have a following. There's always going to be a market for that. Now everybody thinks that they're an expert on everything and that everybody needs to know their opinion on everything. Everybody's always mad about something. Everybody's blasting something off, spouting something about, you know what? I follow you people because I try to keep in touch with you, and I do. I used to be interested in your personal lives, but then when you shove your entire worldview down my throat every 5 seconds, it gets a little old. People, it's like I don't need your opinion on what war is going on and who did this and who did that. It's like I'll form my own opinion. Thank you very much. And nobody cares about my opinion, so why should I care about yours? Yeah, and you know what I tell people? You shouldn't care about my opinion. I'm not an expert. I'm just some guy with a microphone. If I entertain you, that's good, but I'm not telling you to listen to me, or to base your worldview off of me. I'm not lecturing you about how you should live your life. Now, everybody's got to stick up their, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, ah, it really is. I really think it was social media because, before then, from what I understand, I've grown up in an age where I've had social media for most of my life, but it's just like, oh man, I mean, people so sanctimonious on the social media. It's like, yeah, you're all sanctimonious online, but then in real life, you don't really have much to say because you get it out on there. You find two or three people that agree with you, and you think that you're the second coming of, I don't know, Confucius or Plato or Aristotle or whoever it is that you're trying to emulate. Which, most of these people, they emulate celebrities. Which, I mean, yeah, I'm going to get my worldview from the likes of, I don't know, Taylor Swift and Billie Eilish. That's what I need to do. But oh boy, he's on a scorcher today. Woo! I'm all amped up. I took a nap. I had a cup of coffee. I'm not. Let's get into it, people. No. I mean, I've been enjoying myself. I don't know why I got all worked up there, but it really is something. It's just like, I mean, you can say the same thing about this show. I wouldn't have a show 10, 15 years ago, but I have one now, and I do it because I enjoy it, and I have a small but dedicated fan base, and I hope it grows. But if it doesn't grow, it's not my bread and butter. I don't need to do this. This is for me. This is for my enjoyment, and for the people that like to listen. And if you like to listen, great. If you don't like to listen, good. Good. I don't want you listening. Buzz off. As if we had a guy at my high school. He used to talk in like Happy Days language. He wouldn't curse, but he would say things like buzz off. Oh cats. Buzz off was a big one. No, but there was another one he used to say all the time. Like he would always use like these 1950s insults. It's the funniest thing. He was a nice kid, but oh my gosh, it's like talking to. It was like Happy Days. That's all I can come up with. But anyway, and now my computer's going off. What do you have to say? Everybody's got something to say now. Um. Anyway, people, what's going on? Sorry for that rant there at the beginning, but there will be more. Trust me, there will be more. I've got a lot of good material to get into today, so let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to start with something positive, but obviously we can't do that here. But I wanted to start with a quote from my favorite composer, Giuseppe Verdi, and it really resonated with me because first of all, one of my favorite quotes of his is "I've had enough dealing with lunatics," and I feel that every day, every waking moment of my day. I've really had my fill with lunatics, but I found another one that's a little bit nicer. Here's what he says. This is from Verdi. One of the great composers, great opera composers, wrote some of the best operas, some of the best music that you'll hear. I have striven from, excuse me, I messed it up. I have striven for perfection. It has always eluded me, but surely I have an obligation to make one more try. Wow. Wow. Think about that. I'm going to say it again. I have striven for perfection, not mediocrity, not the least I could get away with. I've striven for perfection. It has always eluded me. He's humble too. He has always eluded me. And this coming from somebody who wrote, Aida and Falstaff and Rigoletto and all these wonderful La Traviata, all these wonderful operas. It has always eluded him. But I surely had an obligation to make one more try. He never gave up. I mean, what a nice, what a great outlook to have on life. I really think that nowadays people are like, you're like, oh, that's perfectionism is bad, and I'm like, yeah, well, when you suck, I guess it is bad. No, but it's true. You have all this postmodern, this art. You can tape a banana to the wall, and it's art now. It's sick. It really is. But no, I'm not saying that. There's obviously you could take anything too far. If you. My point is that why can't we encourage people just to do the best that they can? And if you're ignorant on something, why can't you learn about it? I mean, I really think if people tried to do the best that they could do all the time, not just tune out whatever's going on around you. Just focus on the task at hand. If you could do the best that you could do, I really think things would be better. But what do I know? I know nothing. But no, it's true. It's like I try to be as perfect as I can in whatever I do. I'm not perfect all the time. I make mistakes. I've messed up a lot, but I try to put the effort in. I try, and if I'm not putting the effort in, I want somebody to tell me. If somebody I respect, if I ask for your, oh, look, he's a hypocrite. He says he wants feedback, but only if he asks for it. No, but there are people whose opinion I respect, and I would I respect all people. I respect people. I mean, I'm coming off like an asshole here, but I do respect people, and everybody has a right to believe what they believe. Everybody has their own rights, but if you want me to take you seriously, I try to. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm saying. But what an attitude. I mean, just I guess my point is like imagine if other people had that attitude. Imagine if that was the thing, that was what they said. I've tried for perfection in my work in my life. It's always eluded me, but that doesn't mean I can't stop trying. Yeah, I think that's a nice thing to do. Um, oh gosh, I feel like I've been talking for 25 minutes. It's been 9. um, all right, let's keep going. So yeah, it's been a busy weekend. Friday night I went out. I went contra dancing. Do you know about this contra dance? It's kind of like square dancing, and that was a lot of fun. I like country dancing. I like line dancing. I like contra dancing. It's a lot of fun. Although I was doing the steps, and somebody kept trying to coach me. Again, coming back to this, he was like, well, "Why are you standing on this side?" I was like, "Hey, man, I back off. It's my second time here." I think I said, "Take it easy." I'm like, I don't need your input, Mister Coach. I mean, um, but it was fun all the same. And I had to work up a sweat doing that. I don't understand how it happens. I don't know if it's just really hot in that room where they do it by the end. Everybody's all sweaty. It's like I had to take. I was wearing a quarter, so I had to take the thing off. Um, I had a t-shirt on underneath, but I was like, man, it is hot in here. And then afterwards, I went to the bar. Of course, I ran into some friends of mine, and then last night I went to another event. We had a big fire, and I was there and I was talking to people and and they were telling me, they're like, "Oh, your voice is so interesting. You should have a show." And I'm like, "Well, actually, I do have a show. Here it is." No, but they're like, "But you could do like voice acting or voiceovers or I don't know. It's like, I mean, your singing voice is good, but even your speaking voice is good." I'm like, "Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind trying that. You know, a little bit of voiceover, voice acting. I don't know how you start with that, but I don't know. I think it would be good. You know, I mean, how hard is that? I read a script and I go home. But if the voice is good, the voice is good. You know, it's got nothing to do with me. I've done, I've put work in to try to make it as good as I can. But the voice is the voice, and the voice is not for me. It's a gift. It is what it is. But yeah, so maybe I'll try that. That would be good. You know, it's not like I have four other jobs that I do. I need a fifth one, but no, why not? Why not? I mean, this is what your 20s are about: trying all kinds of different things and trying think new things and exploring the what you're interested in and what your hobbies are. And I think that's what it's for. I'm 26, people. You know, I don't know. I mean, every day is a gift, but I think that you can still have a little bit of fun too. Um, but no, it was fun. I saw all my friends. I'll see them again tonight for the Super Bowl. But I'm going to see some of these people 3 days in a row. That's very rare for me. Anyway, but moving along. You know, what was I going to say? Oh, I have a funny story I thought about the other day because I saw the word grandiose. And when I was in high school, I don't really go back into the well too much on this show, but I think I should start because I got some really good stories. It's just, I forget about them and then they come to me and then they go away, so I have to write them down. But in high school, we were in AP English, and there was about, which is, of course, is my favorite class. I absolutely love English. um, I appreciate it more now, but back in the day, I was very much like, I just want the credit and I want out of here. But we were sitting in our little circle of discussion there. You know, we all thought we were, philosophers. And what we would do is we write a reflection on what we were supposed to read, and we kind of talk about it and share and discuss, whether it was a poem or a chapter from a book or whatever. And so I wrote this thing, and I included the word. He has these grandiose visions, or for himself. I don't know what it was, some poem or some crap. I don't know. I said he has these grandiose, visions for himself, and we basically like peer reviewed our stuff. So my thing gets passed around, and the first person to my right draws a question mark next to the word grandiose, and then I get it back, and it has 17 freaking question marks by it because nobody knew what the word was. And then they're like, "What is that? I never heard of that before." I'm like, "It's a word." And they're like, "No, it's not." And I'm like, "Yes, it is. I'm telling you, it's a word." And they're like, "No, that can't be right." Everybody thought they're so smart. And meanwhile, I'm using vocabulary. They don't even know what it is. So what they did is that they just drew a question mark, like, "What is that?" Instead of, I don't know, why don't you ask the teacher? I'm sure she heard the word grandiose before. Grandiose. Everybody thinks they're grandiose. Well, they haven't met Manoli. Uh, Yeah, it was snowing here. I go back to this. Why am I going back to that? But let's talk about it. It doesn't snow very often here. Last year it snowed all as well in 2025, and that was a big one. That was, it stuck on the ground. It was several inches. I remember my dog, little ass, or Ratstro, or whatever you want to call him. He was running through the snow. He looked like the Yeti. I mean, it was really something. He looked like the little Yeti running through the snow. He didn't really get a chance to do that this time because the snow did not stick to the road, which is good, you know. it's good that it didn't stick to the snow, but to the road. But it wasn't much of an event. It snowed a little bit. It looked good on camera, and then it kind of went away the next day, or by Monday it was really gone. But yeah, it's a rare thing to get snow here. The weather people are so dramatic. They're so dramatic. Yeah, they always got to talk it up like it's some kind of life changing thing. Because one day it will be, and they'll be like, "See, we were right," and then which is, yeah, I mean, that's what they're supposed to do. So I guess they don't get sued. I don't know, but the real weather station is the Manoli News Network, and if you don't follow me on my social media, it's time to start. Um, yes, yes. What else am I going to talk about? I feel like I have more interesting things to say, and then I kind of. Oh, here I got a message. I have some fan mail actually, from one of my listeners. Last episode I talked about bumper stickers, and I said, watch, somebody is going to have a bunch of bumper stickers or whatever, or something something something, and then sure enough, I get a message from my. I'm gonna say his name because he doesn't care. And it's all love between me and Alan. He said, "Another good show. I like the shorter format. I must tell you, I have a dog dad bump sticker on my car, and my wife has a dog mom, which is one of the things that I specifically called out. Our two dogs often cost as much as children, so I feel justified. My car is also festooned with Grateful Dead stickers. I know that I told about my stepbrother playing the. Oh, that kind of went off on another tangent, but I was just like, you know what? Didn't I say last show? I'm like, somebody is going to have like a bumper sticker fan club and write into me, and that's exactly what happened. So, you know what I should just do? I should just stop talking. How about that? Maybe I should just practice what I preach. Ay, ay, ay. But yeah, yeah. I gotta. I've been saving this one though, and this one was really something. I met so the last month, over a month ago, I was watching the college football playoffs, and I was out at a restaurant, and I was with some friends of mine, and the waitress comes by and she says, "Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Seven." I said, "I'm sorry." She's like, "Yes, my name is Seven," and I'm like, "Seven?" She's like, "Yes, my name is Seven," and I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, yeah, because I was born on the seventh day of the seventh month, and they named me Seven, or I was the seventh child, or something too." It's like I said, "Do you play craps?" And she's like, "No, I don't even understand that." I was like, "Oh man, like she totally missed a joke." But I gotta be honest, man. First of all, isn't that like a lyric from a blues song? On the seventh hour, ba, 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 ba. On the seventh day, do, 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 do. On the seventh month, ba, 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 ba. How does it go? I think it's Hoochie Coochie Man. How does it go? Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Yeah, the seven doctors said, bah, 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 bah. He was born for good luck, bah, da, 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 da. And that you'll see, do, 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 do. I got $700, and don't you mess with me. Yeah, it is from a song. I was right. I like the blues, but yeah, Seven. I mean, God bless her. She was the sweetest girl. I mean, super nice lady. I mean, happy, positive, bubbly, smiling. I'm like, man, if my name was Seven, I don't know if I'd be, I don't know if I'd have such a good attitude. I mean, just think about that. It's like, I don't know, man. I'm sure. And watch, somebody's gonna write it like, yeah, she's gonna listen to this, and then I'm gonna get hate mail from somebody named, Nine or something. It's like the Hunger Games out here. I mean, these are the names we have now, but. Yeah, I'm just saying, if I was a parent, which one day, God willing, maybe I will be, but I don't have any kids, but I'm just saying, like, one of the first acts as a parent is naming your child, and that name's going to stick with them for the rest of their life. They have no choice in the matter. And you give them Seven. I mean, do you know how many times she's had to explain that to jerks like me? I mean, if people probably making jokes about 7, 8, 9, or just think about this last year. We had this stupid, idiotic 6, 7 thing going on. I mean, it's probably the worst year of her life. But no, she was all happy go lucky. I'm just saying, like, I mean, you're a parent. Okay, so what do you want for your kids? I mean, what do you want? You want them to have all the options in life. I mean, you name them seven, and that's basically like, okay, you're writing off president. I don't know. It's just why don't you, I mean, it's like those idiots that named their kid Khaleesi after Game of Thrones. It's like, mommy, what's my name? And it's like, oh, you're named after Daenerys, the Dragon Queen from Game of Thrones, the show that you can't even watch until you're old enough, and then you're gonna watch it. You're gonna see, wow, Khaleesi maybe not have been such a great name after all. How stupid is that? And you have all these wonderful names. You can name somebody. You can name them after a saint. You can name them after your father or your mother or somebody important in your life. And you choose Khaleesi. I mean, it's asinine. I don't understand the names anymore. You got people, they can't even spell it right. It's like their name will be Bray Lee and it'll have a Y and an E and an I and a G and an H. And it's like, oh my gosh. Like, how do you even explain that? Like that guy at Contra, one of those people, they were like, I told they're like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "My name is Manoli," and they're like, "Spell it." And I'm like, "I'm not spelling it. It's cannoli with an M. Just move along." And people, my father doesn't like when I tell people that. He's like, "That's not what your name is," and I'm like, "I can't help. People don't. They can't wrap their head around something that's not John or Stanley or something easy. It's like I have to get. First of all, they make the jokes anyway. They're like, oh, Manoli, you really like cannolis, do you? I'm like, yeah, I heard that one. You're not the first person to think of that. Regular Don Rickles over here. I mean, my golly, people. So I just take it from them. I just steal their thunder. I set the stage. I take the jokes. This is how it works here. I make the jokes and you laugh. He thinks he's a comedian, but he's not funny. I try to be funny. I try to be funny. People are like, I don't get it. I'm like, well, you know what? I think that says something. But anyway, oh boy, oh boy, wow, wow. Is it game time yet? I need to go. Yeah, yeah. You know what else? You know what else was bothering me? I went somewhere. I just wanted to get a nice meal for myself. Just sit down, have a normal meal, just by myself. I do a lot. I do a lot alone. I go to restaurants a lot alone. Sometimes I go to bars alone. I go walk around by myself. I enjoy the art of being alone. It's something I just like to people watch. I kind of like to keep to myself sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes I want my friends or my family, but sometimes also, I just kind of prize my solitude. I mean, that's really it is. I live alone. I'm totally self sufficient. I just that's kind of how my life is. But I went to this place. I've been wanting to try this place in my part of town. I'm not going to say where it is, but I was wanting to try it for a while, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go try that place tonight. I was all excited. A new place in town. Let's go see how it is. I heard good things about it, and and I go in and sit down. And I'm just minding my own business. Bartender comes by. Would you like a drink? Would you like a drink? And then the guy puts his hand on my back. I'm like, why are you touching me? No, but you should not be touching me. Why? I mean, I just like tensed up. I'm like, the guy's standing there, like trying to take my order. I'm like, do you mind? Like, I don't know you. Don't touch me. There is no reason. The only time I want to be touched in a restaurant, or really, like first of all, I just don't like people touching me in general. But second, like people who like they always gotta hug you or they're hanging on you. It's like, oh my gosh, like get off of me. But I mean, listen, if it's a family member, that's one thing. But like just random people, it's like when you're out at the bar and somebody like puts their arm around you, you're like, oh, I love you, man. And I'm like, get off of me. Um, but yeah, this guy, it's like, first of all, it's happened to other restaurants too. I'll be sitting there and the guy puts his hand on my shoulder. I'm like, excuse me, do you mind, bro? Like, like the only excuse for like a bartender or a waiter or whatever at a restaurant to put your hand on my shoulder or my back, it's like if I'm like hungover the next morning and I'm at some diner or a Waffle House or something, and the waitress is some old Southern woman, and she's asking me if I want, honey or syrup with my pancakes. That's the only time. Or can I get you some more coffee, hun? Like if you're that kind of person, by all means, you feel free to put your hand on my shoulder, but not you. I mean, what the? I just sat there, and then like, yeah. It's just like I don't have a personal space, people. That's all I'm saying. Personal space is a big one. Like when I was in Florida, I told you about my trip to Florida. I was sitting at the lobby bar and I was sitting there. I was just trying to relax. Just it was a long day at the park. I just wanted to have a nice nightcap and then go to bed. Just trying to sit there and relax, watch a little TV, look around, enjoy my surroundings. I was going home the next day. There was these 5 or 6 really obnoxious people to my left, and finally they left. So I was like, finally, I have peace and quiet, could sit here, just tune out. And then less than 5 minutes later, some man, this 70-year-old man comes like speeding in, like it's like I have a bullseye on my back. Comes speeding in, sits himself right next to me with a glass of wine in his hand, starts trying to talk to me. I'm like, I have 5 seats next to me. Can you mind? Like, can you move over? Like, what the hell? There's no. It's like when you go to the bathroom, you're at the urinal. You don't go stand next to somebody. You go. I mean, I had 5 seats. You got to get at least one in between, preferably two. It's like personal space, people. Personal space. That's all I want. That's all I want in life. Like, I mean, could you just leave me alone? Is that so much to ask? Apparently so. Wow. Wow, I had a lot on my chest today. And no, and people are going to think like, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" There's nothing wrong with me. I'm perfectly happy. But at the same time, it's like I got to have material for the show, people. So anyway, that's it. I think that's going to be it for today. But if you watch Super Bowl, I hope it's a good one. I obviously I don't think this is going to come out before then, but yeah, I'll keep you updated. I want to do more guests on this show. Actually, I kind of want to get guests back into the system. I have people that have asked me like, I want to come on your show. I'm like, well, but I was living at home. It was kind of hard logistically, but now I could probably manage it better. And I think it would be good to get another perspective on here every once in a while. Not all the time, but just some friends of mine, some family, or some people I work with. Maybe I don't know, some people that I admire. I like it. I really do. I really do like a lot of people. I am a people person at the end of the day, but like I said, I gotta have material for the show, so this is what you get. But it's like the Brady Bunch. Not every episode could be. Not every episode of the show could be the Brady Bunch. It can't all be all happy go lucky and blah blah blah. Which I try to say happy go lucky, but sometimes you gotta have a little bit of grit in there every now and then. That's what makes it interesting. I'm just trying to make entertainment for you people. But anyway, folks, that's all for today. I'll see you next episode. I shouldn't have had that cup of coffee. My golly. All right. Talk to you later. Goodbye.